Welcome to Gapology Radio Podcast with authors Mark Tienes and Brian Brockhoff. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gapology Radio. This is your podcast on Gapology, IMBAR, and more. Let's go ahead and give Mark a call and see what he's up to.
Hey Brian.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Oh, just thinking about Gapology and some of the things that we should share with the team that we haven't talked about in a while.
Yeah, I bet you got some good stuff this week. What are you thinking?
Got some good stuff, yeah. So the most famous line in Gapology, one of them anyway, is play chess, not checkers.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, oh, yeah, yep.
But we've never done a podcast on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's weird. This is a good one.
I thought we should share that with the group out there.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So we use that line primarily to talk about people and people moves and people strategy. And what it means is when you make a people move, think of the long game. Think multiple moves ahead. How does it impact you down the road? And if you stay out of the reactionary people mode, where you're trying to fill a position, and you think about the long game, it can totally change the organization. So we recommend today, one of the terms we use today quite a bit in our workshops is built to last. Think built to last when you're making people moves. People moves are so critical. If you make a bad decision and put a leader in charge of a team that doesn't work out, that leader can destroy the careers of people, can set people back for years, literally, and really hurt the organization. But the flip side of that is if you put a great leader in charge of a team and take your time in the selection process and set them up to succeed, they have an impact on the careers, again, of a number of people and can totally change everything for that team. So what do you think, Brian?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think so many times leaders are just reactionary. They just want to fill that hole. They look at it as a hole that they have to fill. So they just jump and they, pick the first person that comes to mind, or perhaps it's somebody who's just worked the hardest a lot of times is the person that they promote. And they don't consider what is that skill set of the person that they're putting in place. Do they have the transferable skills that they need to be promoted? I think this definitely could be something that causes big gaps.
Well, the other thing that's happening today is in an economy with a 3.9, 3.8% unemployment rate, it's hard to fill positions.
Yeah.
So a lot of leaders are desperate and they're filling positions with the first person that comes along or the only person that comes along. That can be a disaster. I will tell you one of the greatest tactics I use. A little bit off topic here. Everybody write this one down, though. It works brilliantly. I just used it 60 days ago, and it's worked out fantastic. I ask the leaders that I respect and the people that I know who they know. Who's the greatest leader you know? Tell me about somebody. So 60 days ago, maybe 90 days ago, I asked that of a leader that I respected. He said, "Oh, you got to talk to this person." And he gave me a name. I said, "What's the number?" He gave me a number. The individual was not looking for a job. I called them. I had coffee with them. They joined the team. They're fantastic. They're a game changer.
Wow.
So these internal referrals, you have to very proactively go after. But they're quite a game changer, and they give you the ability to play chess, not checkers. Let me give you one more piece on this, and then I'll let you speak to it, Brian. I think back on the leaders that I've worked for over the years. And they impacted my life. They changed my life. They changed it. They changed my career track. They developed me in ways I didn't know myself. And they allowed me to then be promoted at the right time, and then be promoted again and again at the right time. And that's what the great leaders do. So they impact so many lives and the trajectory of careers that you have to be very careful when you put someone in charge of a team, because it has a lasting impact. So again, think many moves ahead, just like you would in chess. It's totally different than checkers. So chess is one move to set up the next move and the next move and the next move. Checkers is much more transactional. It's, when you look at people moves, checkers means fill in the opening. Mm-hmm. Chess means planning, 5 and 10 years down the road with the moves that you're making, and never getting desperate, always being proactive, and, staying ahead of the game. I'll turn it to you, Brian.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just thinking about the long-term impact of each move that you make. When you put somebody in a position, that person might be there 20 years. So think about that. Think about all the people that they impact over that period of time. And I think, it's interesting if you look at, so the higher the rank, the higher the impact of your moves. So if you are a president of a company and you're moving in a new vice president, just think of the impact there. And if that's not the right person, if you jump too soon and hire the wrong person or put the wrong person in that place, think about the impact there. So the higher the rank, the higher the impact, I think, of the moves that you're making.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So if you think of chess from a people standpoint, if you make the right moves, it'll change lives. Mm-hmm. If you make the wrong moves, it'll change lives, unfortunately. But thinking of it in the positive, the right leader will change the lives of many people on the team. It will also change the results of the organization. So the difference in results between great leaders and the bottom performing leaders is just massive. And again, it changes the trajectory of careers. Just look back on your career, Brian, and the people that change the trajectory of your career.
Right.
It's not something that should be taken lightly, because it becomes generational. Successful parents will tend to have successful kids, and it will go on, generationally. So playing chess, not checkers, is very real. It's easy to fall into the checkers game today with unemployment rates at historic lows. It is difficult to find great people and great leaders. You have to be proactive. They don't come your way unless you go after them. Last night I talked to a leader that I went after for my team. I found him by asking someone who they knew. And when I first approached him on joining my team, he turned me down. He turned me down the second time. On the third time, I got him to fly out to a market I was in and visit retail stores with me. And I got him to join the team. And I happened to talk to him last night, and he was telling me how that move, how joining my team, had changed his life and reunited him with his daughter and granddaughter, and how it affected everyone. And it felt so great. He became a top performer on my team. He became a top performer of the year for the company, and it was a total game changer, not only for our organization, but for his life. And it really felt good.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'll give you some comments, and then I've got one more little side note I want to touch on, Brett.
Okay. Yeah, when you were sharing that story, I was thinking about, we had written in the book how Moving somebody that doesn't have the right mindset can take a top performer and quickly make them a bottom performer if their mindset or their family's mindset or something isn't correct. I think mindset is so important. So looking at the mindset of the individual is crucial. Also, the subordinates involved. So if you move somebody into a position and the team isn't excited about it, just think about how the mindset affects that team. So I thought that was interesting. One other thing that came to mind is if you're making these moves, prepare for knowledge gaps. So this is just a good way to take a step back and look at Gapology from a knowledge gap perspective. Because as you move people into new positions, even if they're just kind of going a lateral position, a lot of times there's knowledge gaps. So as a leader, you can really prepare for that ahead of time, which then I think those knowledge gaps, if you prepare for that, it can really impact the mindset in a positive way.
Yeah, so anticipate knowledge gaps, get ahead of it, and overcome it. I like to have someone virtually in the role before they get the role, performing in the role before they get the role. And the whole reasoning behind that is to overcome those knowledge gaps. That's a great point.
Yep.
All right, so my last item here then would be play chess, not checkers. We have applied to people moves, but it also applies to business strategy. So when you're looking at your business strategy, look out over the landscape, look 5 years down the road, begin making the moves today that will affect the organization in the future. And play chess, not checkers really applies here very well. It's easy to make a short-term decision that impacts the bottom line today, but you need to look down the road, not make short-term, short-sighted decisions. Play chess, not checkers, and do it in everything you do, and you will be very successful. So, Brian, I'll give you the closing comments.
Yeah, that's. I don't have anything additional, Mark. I just want to say that, I think this is a super important topic. I can't believe we haven't talked about this one before because, I think leaders do a lot of times rush, and a lot of times it's pressure from above, pressure from the market, that type of thing. But sometimes just slowing down will actually make you go much faster.
Play chess, not checkers. Well done, Brian.
All right, thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a great week.
See ya. All right, that'll do it for another week. For more information, head on over to our website, gapology.org. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.